All right, guys, welcome. We are live. Welcome to our little chat with the cast and crew of the first step. Hopefully some of you guys will jump in here and join us. If not, we'll just have fun talking together, and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to start bringing people in here. First of all, here's our director himself, Jerry, and then I will let Jerry introduce everybody, and we'll bring them all in.
Hey, how's it going, Chad? How's it going, everybody?
Good, my friend. Tell you what, you want to introduce everybody, and I'll bring them in as you do.
Absolutely. I guess we'll just go down the list. The first person we'll bring in is her name is Marie Mulvihill. She plays Allison. Oh.
That's epic.
Oh, I hope they're all doing that. Oh, wait, who is most likely to have her mouthful of food next? Let me think. All right, next we're gonna go. I couldn't do any better than that. That's just I'm gonna stop right now because I couldn't do that.
Hi.
All right, we're gonna bring in John Frederick next. He's one of the producers. He's also playing Pastor Brian. He's also today being played by a big round white circle.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, I'm not as cool as Travis. No camera for this one. Sorry.
well, that way, when you only hear him with a mouthful of food, not see him, so it won't have the same effect. But when he chews, his little white circle will pulse, and you'll know what he's doing. So let's see. Let's do. Let's bring in Lakin next. Lakin plays Marley.
Hi.
Lakin,
No
there.
food.
No food. Yeah, no food. Maybe a kid.
And I will tell you, Lakin, that whatever you're playing in the background is really overriding your audio.
Ooh. Okay, hold on.
Really loud.
I think what she's playing in the background are kids.
Yeah.
Kids
So-
TV.
Turn them
All
off.
right, we got.
Well, while she's doing that, let's bring in Karina. Karina plays Dr. Shelby.
I'm gonna.
You can mute her for a minute,
Yeah.
Chad.
I
There
did.
we go. And then finally, we're going to bring in the most professional of us all. This is a robot playing the part of Travis Myers.
Oh, sorry.
Now, I will give you a hint. Travis has had a mouthful of food waiting for 5 minutes because he saw Joe do that. So he's held that food in his mouth for 5 minutes just so we could do that when we brought him in because he's that awesome.
So just so you know, guys, a couple of my friends are here hanging out with us. Chris Stone, he's a Amazon influencer, and actually one of my friends who contributed to help us raise money for the show.
Outstanding.
And then I've got
Thank you.
Sonia joining us from all the way over in Bali.
Outstanding.
Hi,
Hello.
Sonia.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy stuff there. So
I love the gamelan.
I'm going to assume she'll know what that is.
Balinese gamelan. It's a very unique musical instrument,
That's what I was thinking.
and it's tuned to its own tribe. It's amazing. Anyway.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, I know that. That thing. Oh yeah, I thought you meant the other one. The one that's like a breakfast food.
Let's see. Oh, we got Sarah Stahl. Sarah is
Hey,
over in
Sarah.
Alabama. She also
Hola.
donated to help us raise money for the show.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So anyway, okay. So we all want to kind of chat. But I want to catch up with Karina because from the get goes, Karina is really who I got to hang out with first. Well, I guess I got to hang out with Joe, but she was not really in a speaking role at the particular part of the show that she was doing that particular night. But Karina,
I was a little checked out.
I think a little checked out. I want to know what Karina's been up to since we last saw you.
Lots.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I
Uh-oh.
I got stuck, I think.
We can
Can you
still
hear
hear
me?
you. Well, you can still hear you. Yeah. You're moving a little choppy, but we may have lost her for a second. I'm going to bring in Anthony.
Oh,
Anthony.
I'm not sure where Lakin went. Karina
Where's your
is
lighting, Anthony?
Travis took it all.
Yeah. If we can get that third row again, we're gonna start singing the Brady Bunch because the
See
music
if
now.
maybe if Karina uses just
there she
her
is.
audio, will it help? Oh.
Anthony looks like he's in a tent.
It does kind of look
You're
like
muted,
I'm in
Karina.
Yeah, he's camping right now.
Oh no.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Okay. There's
Out.
Karina. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I was curious what you've been up to since we got to film our little hospital scene.
Okay. I guess the secret's gonna come out now. So I wrote and directed a short film myself, and so I filmed it within a weekend. So it was like we filmed like 20, 30 pages within 3 days, back to back to
Wow.
back.
Wow.
Yeah, I wore heels for probably like 16-hour days for 3 days, and I threw all those heels away. So I just did that, and then I'm gonna do in May. We're gonna have an animation film coming out, and I play Queen Layla. So I'm excited for that.
Ooh,
Your Highness.
Queen.
Wow. Have you done voiceover animation type stuff before?
No, I did. Well, actually, I did do like a small film. It was kind of like my audition film, really. I did this one called Trace and Nano, and I played the Dark Warrior. And I thought we were just doing it for fun, but he ended up putting it like online and stuff. And then when I did that, I was just doing that for fun. And then he's like, "Well, that was your audition. You got the part for Queen Layla." And I'm like, "Ooh, cool." So, yeah.
That's how
I
you
did
do
like
that.
6 different films, animated films.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Congrats.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll be able to say I did a scene with her.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Yeah. I got to do a scene with her.
And I was in the room.
Just so
close.
anybody who's watching, guys, we're going to put this little bit.ly link up here. We are, Jerry, what are we short? Like $1,100 of reaching our goal?
$1,130.
$1,130 we're short of reaching our goal. So if you're watching tonight and you feel so moved to help us out, bit.ly/the first step film. You can go there, and you can donate any amount you want. There's also different packages where you can get different things. I know the one where you get to be in the film. We can't put you in the film anymore now because we have finished shooting that part. So.
I guess Jerry could motion track someone's face on like a tree or something in the distance. That could also always be a possibility. As long as Jerry's okay with it, he's going to be editing. So
like the elementary
figure it
school production, right? What was your kid? He was a tree in the show. He was a tree. He was tree number 2. So Jerry. People who are watching and they're like, well, maybe I'll donate, maybe I won't. Why don't you give a little backstory about why you decided, why you had this vision, why you wanted to do this, how this all ended up being what it is?
Oh, that is not a little story. So
No, the abbreviated version.
The abbreviated version was we wanted to make a film, a local film that did not look local. Thanks to Travis for that tagline, which he gave that to us. We wanted to make a film that reached people, that had a good message to it. We wanted to gather a team, see what we could do, because people kept telling us what we were doing was impossible. People are still telling us what we're doing is impossible. And, until God tells us it's impossible, it's not. We're just going to keep doing it. This film has done more when we're not supposed to be able to. People keep telling us, you can't do that. It's not the way it's done. That's not how it's done. There's no way you can do that. And we just keep doing it. So, these guys keep doing it. Like I said, a trained monkey could do what I'm doing. So,
I don't think anybody in here agrees with that.
Nope.
An untrained monkey. Someone told me, opposable thumbs are the best thing ever. So,
I mean, I've never tried to live without them. So just like tape them down one day and just see how your day goes. Try to go through a whole day without
Our biology
thumbs.
class actually did that once. We were required to tape our thumbs down and try to do the whole class without thumbs, just to remind us
I would
how
say
important
thumbs
it was
down,
that we had
but you would
thumbs.
have it. English.
Would you hold anything?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
just like-
It was just.
Oh, I can't.
It was in high school. Yeah.
Everybody doing crab stuff all day. So
That's crazy. Crazy. Guys, if you're watching, if you have any questions or if you're curious about anything about the show or what was going on behind the scenes or whatnot, definitely let us know. Karina, you were probably the most. Maybe I'm wrong. Were you the most like seasoned, having done films in our cast? She's like, I will not answer that question. I refuse to answer that question.
Every time you ask her a question, she disappears.
I know. Jerry, did she have the most experience?
it would be between her and John. John and Tom Hanks are like really good friends. And
Oh my gosh.
ask him.
I'd love to say that joke never gets old, but
Got my thumb.
oh my goodness.
No, John is probably it would be John or Karina would be the ones who've got the most credits under their belt. So
Yeah.
But John's circle has stopped pulsing, so I don't know if he's run away as well. So moving down the list.
No, he's there.
Okay, well, so we're just dumping people by asking them questions.
Gotcha.
We're all just very modest. They
Yeah.
don't want to talk about themselves.
We have a
Hey,
few
there
little
you go,
fun
Chad.
things.
Elijah got one for you.
Oh, we got a question here. Elijah. Were you willing to take the leaf blower to the eyes for the kitchen scene to come to tears? Oh my goodness, the leaf blower. I think we got let's see, somewhere around here.
Yeah, hang on. We got
Oh
that.
boy. Oh boy.
I don't know if we have the leaf blower. Do we have the leaf blower?
Yeah, give me 1 second and I'll get it for you.
Do the
I will
Joker
get that.
blower.
It's funny you should ask. Is that this right
Yeah.
here? Let's see.
Oh, look at this.
Nope, that's not the leaf blower.
But anytime we get to hear Joe sing, though, I feel like it's a treat.
Absolutely.
Our next film
I thought
will be a
this was
musical.
copyrighted.
Audrey looks so awkward there, like, okay.
The next film will be a musical, Travis. You heard it right here, folks.
Yeah.
The next film will be a musical.
So anybody's
you go.
curious.
Broke the news.
Elijah asked.
There you-
Elijah.
there you-
Elijah asked this. Elijah asked this because it's one thing to try to cry or whatever in a scene, but the scene said that my eyes were supposed to be red, like I'd been crying a while, and we didn't have any it's a local film, right? We didn't have the professional whatever stuff. We didn't have a Doug Underwood there to help us know what to do. So we looked around the house and like, oh, I bet this wing sauce will work. And it did really well. I should write a review, a Google review, or this. If you want to make your eyes red,
You put wing
There.
sauce in your eyes?
Yeah, there's your video.
You did.
just in the corners, just in the corner. Oh, here we go. Wow, that one had audio.
I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. It would have worked if I could have turned it off.
I told her the most important thing about using the leaf blower is you've got to turn it off when I signal you. And instead she revved it over and over
Louder.
again.
That was funny. If I was watching it from the other side and she couldn't turn it off, but she still felt like, I guess she thought she was in the scene. So she tried to sneak quietly behind the truck. It was hilarious.
Imagine trying to sneak with an active blowing leaf blower. Oh, they'll never see me.
Very, very quiet. So, oh wait, is Karina? Nope. I don't think Karina made it back. So, but that's understandable. That's frustrating if the connection's not working. So, those who don't know, Karina plays a doctor, and it was a really cool. It was one of the first things I got to film, and this is the first time I've been in a film. So, getting to do that with her was very helpful for me because she looked like she knew what she was doing. Like if I had to, if my first scene had been with Anthony, I'd been like, I don't know if I can do this. And I'm just kidding.
That's probably a fair statement, though.
He's like, fair.
Who is like, I don't know if I can act with this guy. Can we get someone else? Can we get someone else? You guys walking by the truck and watching y'all do that stuff with the leaves, because we couldn't see y'all at first. but then when we walked by the truck, we could like see like all the stuff that was happening, but it's like a serious, you have to be serious. And so like watching y'all like blow the leaves, but like also trying to keep a serious face was the hardest thing I think I did on the film. Easy. I was like, because I didn't expect how hard y'all would be working to blow the leaves. Like when the leaf blower didn't work and y'all had the little whatever y'all had, the tops to boxes, and y'all were like, and it's just like serious thing right out of the corner of your eye. Everybody.
Oh,
There's a whole team back there, all trying to blow like 6 leaves across the.
Sarah. There was like a bunch. Sarah was asking, why have folks been saying that it's not how it's done? What are they referring to? I'm not. Have you guys been saying that's not how it's done?
That's not.
No.
one here's been saying
Jerry has been told that like how he's approaching things isn't the way it's done.
Yeah, there have been lots of professionals that have been telling us that we're doing it the wrong way, that real films aren't made that way, on a real movie set it wouldn't be done that way, and
What's
there's
that?
no way. Yeah, anything, scheduling, directing, filming, writing, you name it, and someone has told me that you can't do it. That's the wrong way to do it. The wrong way to put together a film, the wrong way to fill in the blank, and someone has told me it's the wrong way. That's not how it's done.
Some of the people who have said that have not actually been on a real movie set.
That's interesting.
And
Mom.
you know, and
Especially with Tom Hanks.
yeah.
Booyah.
It goes,
And,
"Ooh, yeah."
and some people, interestingly enough, some people have said it who have been on movie sets. But what I say is that we may not do it the way professionals do it, but that's good and bad because we're not making their mistakes either. You know, so we're finding our own way. And these guys right here have just, I mean, because I can't see John, I can say I'm not looking at any professional actors right here. So, and these guys they have brought forth performances like, I'm still in awe. I've been watching clips today as I catalog stuff, and I'm still blown away by what I'm seeing. I mean, these
I'm one of
guys
those that
brought
like, we'll see.
A-list stuff. Yeah. Anthony, you're the biggest surprise of all. So I expected things from
I thought you were gonna suck.
from Joe, and you know, and my wife convinced me to talk to Chad, and
That's the only way I got the part.
Because I didn't know him, and Anthony, we got you through Joe, and since I didn't talk to you, the entire time until the night before you were first on set, but man, you brought it, seriously brought it.
As Sarah says, that's what they said about the movie The Help as well, that they didn't do it the right way or whatever. And it rocked the world. So there you go.
Oh,
One of
shoot.
my favorite
Thanks, Sarah.
movies.
So we're about to rock the world? Is that what Sarah's saying?
I mean,
Come on.
according to Sarah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Sarah's
So-
saying there.
Sarah's been watching this closely. She knows that that's not just a short film, but it also has a Christian foundation. And Sarah is a fellow believer. So she's been very supportive. She's shared the link with others. She shared the live stream, I think, a little while ago. By the way, guys, if you want to help us, we're around $1,100 shy of hitting our goal to pull this off. You can go to the link here below, bit.ly/thefirststepfilm. And there's different levels if you want. We appreciate it if you can. If you can't, no worries. We'll still figure out how to make it happen because...
And anyone who gives during this live stream, I will sing a couple of lines with your name in it. An original little ditty just for you.
Oh,
Like right now?
Like if someone donates, I will
Gotcha.
insert their name.
Oh, I'm going to
into the
donate
photo
right
too.
now then.
John Jacob.
I've heard it said, I've heard this phrase before. If you're going to do something that's never been done, then you have to do it in a way that's never been done, you know, which seems kind of obvious. But I know that like a lot of the local films I've come across don't have the message that this film does. And so I think that, you know, perhaps that's one of the ways that it'll be different, you know, the approach of it too.
Gotcha.
And I think that, I don't know, I've watched like the behind the scenes of a lot of my favorite movies, you know, especially Lord of the Rings and all that kind of thing. But I think that in our area, there's so much talent. There's so much talent in the arts. But there's also this like cloud over the Golden Triangle where people, it's been put this way, dream killers, right? And I know our pastor is really big. He says, surround yourself with people who say you can, you will, and you know, like the positive, like speakers and stuff. And so I say, you know, it's when I hear people with that cloud in their speech, I just make it a point to come back with light in my speech, you know, because we live here in this area because we believe in this area. So
absolutely,
there's wonderful people here, and you know, that's where it's at. It's a positive thinking.
I do have to make one point.
By the way, I'm sorry, the Facebook user, just letting you know, if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, there's a link you can click and it'll allow Facebook to let us see who you are, or you can stay anonymous, or you can just let us know who you are, by the way. But thanks for the fire. I assume that's good fire and not like the hell kind.
Not
Roast.
I just realized that when we brought Travis in, I didn't say what he did because I was too, you know, he had a mouthful of food and I was appreciating the gesture. Travis is
I was
our
actually
director of
acting.
photography. Oh yeah, well,
It wasn't
Travis,
real food.
Travis is our director of photography.
Karina's back.
Scenes, hey, Karina. All the fabulous visuals that you're going to see in this movie come from Travis. The man is brilliant. And he took the vision that I had and just showed me things that I hadn't even thought about. And so when you see this film, you're going to see some fantastic imagery. And that is all Travis says. You can tell by his cell phone video there of himself. You know, he's filming himself on a Fisher Price, you know, 2001.
It's actually a Barbie camera.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's got Mitchell in the background doing sound at his house.
Mitchell comes over.
Feeding him grapes.
Thumbs up, speed.
Yeah, there's like eight guys
Donovan's
behind him.
feeding
Eight guys behind him in a
grapes.
crew.
Karina, that's quite a wall back there.
I know, I'm trying to hide it and I can't.
Oh, I'm like intrigued.
I had to move to a different room so the internet would work, so I don't keep getting kicked out. But like, I can't hide it. I'm like,
Well, we're gonna do an experiment, Karina. We're gonna do an experiment. Okay, each time we ask you a question, you disappeared. So, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Hey, she's still here.
Where did Lakin go?
Probably momming.
Yeah, her kids probably killed
Yeah.
her. They probably took her down to make dinner and or something, and they just dragged her off.
Right.
My kids are taking a bath right now in their bathroom. So
Lakin snuck into the bathroom for a drink.
But while Joe's kids are in the bathroom, she stole their headphones.
yes, I couldn't find my headphones, and then right as we were starting, they reminded me that we do indeed have a professional music studio down the hall, and I could have grabbed those headphones. But you know, I'm gonna represent the mom life.
You
Just
go.
rock and rock the fact that these headphones are actually not too much smaller than my ear,
That's right. And then
which
it's
means
just,
I have a small head or
kind
small
of
ears.
symbolic of the fact
and a
that
big
this movie's for every person. It's for every
It
person.
really
It's not for the people with the
I love that.
$5,000 camera setup and
Segue.
special LUTs and things on their live stream to make themselves stand out from the crowd. It's about everybody else who belongs to the general masses of Christ. You know?
Wow.
Hey, can I say though? Oh wow.
Sorry, this is from a
Travis,
different movie.
I didn't expect. I don't
You
know.
worked on
much.
Harry Potter?
I'm a newbie, so I didn't know what to expect. But the way the movie looks on the camera, I don't know if that's normal, but it looks so good. I
Right.
was like,
That's what we were saying. It's all Travis. The
It's-
look.
Yep.
Just all me. I'm there, and the movie looks good. What can I say? No, but some you all made it easy to make it look good. So thank you for helping me.
Oh, stop it.
Making my job easy.
Now, Karina, where are you from? Where do you live?
I live in San Antonio, Texas.
That's what I thought. You came the furthest of anybody, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and you've never met
Thank you.
Anthony.
No, I think most of the cast I haven't met. To be honest with you, I met
Well, you met-
Joe.
Yeah.
I met Travis, Jerry, his wife. I met John. I haven't met the other the one playing Marley. I haven't
Yeah.
met her. I haven't met Anthony. And then everyone else. So
Well,
Am
Lakin
I-
heard you were here, so she keeps dropping off the stream. So
I keep looking to see if she pops back in. So, anyway,
oh, ha! I just saw who the Facebook user is. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's
Sorry.
Alex. She said, who it
Alex,
was.
hey, Alex.
It's like 10 minutes late to the game.
So, hey, John, you've done several films and been on lots of sets. Was there anything from a positive standpoint that really stood out to you on this with this group, or what was going
Well,
on?
I can tell you from coming from a real movie set, Jerry has done everything right. So
Oh, thank
whoever
you.
those other people are, they don't know what they're talking about. So when you put together a team like Jerry and Travis, and of course Julie, they look like a professional team. They really pulled it off. They've got the terminology, they got the set etiquette, they got everything right. And Jerry can be as humble as he wants, but I think I could probably speak for everybody when I say he has really inspired all of us.
Well, thank you, and just give that check about 5 or 6 days to clear, and you'll be all good.
Yeah, about to say I have PayPal.
Now, let me
Yeah.
see. So,
I'll
Jerry, you
chime
knew.
in real quick.
Oh yes, please.
See
Who?
that?
Who?
I'll chime in.
I see what you
Oh,
did.
man.
So I was gonna say is like we was talking about how Jerry has, I don't know, is doing the right thing. I think that's one. I don't know. Joe had said that in this area, people don't think things can happen. That there's a cloud where people get stuck. And I think just being able to bring about a project of this size in this area is kind of a miracle. To get people to work on 4 different weekends out of their own free time to work on a movie and be there and keep coming back, that's kind of a miracle. And I remember, I think there was a couple little miracles on set while we were working. I remember there was one shot that was like, this is going to be. It was the leaf blower shot. I was like, the sun's in the wrong position. Like you're going to see me in the shadows if the sun is out. And it was like a clear day with barely any clouds. And then as soon as we got ready to shoot, like this cloud appeared. And we had just like a few takes where we could do it. And then finally they wanted to get one more take. And I thought for sure, I was like, okay, the sun's out, the wind's blowing in the opposite direction. This is just going to be a throwaway take. We might as well not even do it, but we'll slate it up. I'll record anyway. And then as soon as I get the camera into position, I guess the cloud decides to go against the wind and goes into position. Like immediately as I get the camera in position, we get the whole shot. And then that was the one that Jerry was like, "Star that one. That's the one we're using."
That's it is. I watched that again today. That is the one we're using.
Speaking of slating things.
Hi.
Hey,
Carly! These segues are incredible.
How's it going?
Carly right there. Carly is truly the one this movie could not have been made without. Carly kept.
She's amazing.
She is amazing.
No doubt.
I did pretty good.
Agreed.
That's because she has two opposable thumbs. and you may not know it, but her feet also have opposable toes, so she could handle all four things at one time.
Yep, I can multitask.
Oh man, no, Carly was great, and Alex, when she was in here with us too, she was just like she had the best attitude on the set. Like if somebody needs something, she was always like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." When we were at Joe's house shooting stuff, I said, "Man, I could really go for because I love Dunkin' coffee." I said I could go for one of my extra large Dunkin' coffees, and she goes, "I'll be right back." And she's like, took off around the corner and brought me coffee. And I was like, "Wow."
Yeah. She went and got me oat milk or oat creamer for our last shoot because there was coffee and I don't drink dairy milk. And
yeah, we never could find an oat milk,
like
by the way.
Oh.
Did you take that oat milk home? Because we couldn't find it. We're trying to figure out where it went.
She gave it to me.
Left it.
Oh, we went back looking for it the next
I
day.
was like, man, this is really good. I've never had oat milk.
I know.
And she's
Okay,
like,
oat
"Take
milk
it.
is.
I don't even drink coffee."
Carly's all like, "Somebody go put that in my purse."
I did.
Hey, I will say this.
I'm gonna have to try squeezing oats. Try it out.
I can make my own oat milk, so it's easier than I think.
Hey, listen.
Sorry, John's
John.
In my producer role, just kind of stepping back, and looking at this whole project as a whole, I can really see that Jerry really brought together an incredible team. So I'm sure you guys would agree with that.
Well, I will say that God brought together an incredible team for us. Each person here, with the exception of Joe, because God told me to cast Joe before there was a script. With that exception, no one else here was the first choice for their position. Now, the first choice might have been no choice, but
build us up more, Jerry.
But I'm saying no, God.
Nobody would have been better than Trav.
I mean, I didn't know I needed. I didn't know I needed.
Him.
I didn't know I needed a person in a certain spot, for example, Carly. But God pointed to each one of you when you came across, my emails, whatever, and said, "That's the one. Pick that one. Put this person. Let them do this." And it's amazing. I mean, I'm not going to take any credit for that. That's all God there. He's still pointing me where I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, he did it through you, Jerry. So you got to take some credit, brother.
Yeah, Moses tried that and see what happened.
Uh-oh, don't even go there.
I saw there was a comment.
The man in foyer too.
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
Man in foyer.
Man in foyer was freaking fantastic. I'm just gonna say,
really good.
Yeah, he did. He told me beforehand. He goes,
Aaron,
I'm pretty much I do this every week, so it's not like a big deal. But he did a great job, so I was excited. So, by the way, we might have a few other people here watching, guys. This is our little shameless plug. Obviously, we're trying to get this done at a higher level than I think some think we may pull this off, but we need your help to do some of it. And so if you go to the link that right here, I think we're still we're $1,130 or so shy of reaching our goal. So we'd appreciate it if anybody wants to, at $5, $10, $1,100, whatever you can do. Every little bit helps. So thank you for that.
I keep checking the page to see if it's gone up, because the first person to donate during the stream, Joe's going to sing a song with their name in it. So I keep going back and looking to see if there's somebody for that to happen for.
So okay, so Jerry, you already knew about Joe. Your wife told you should go with me. I
Right.
think Joe referred Anthony.
Correct.
John told you about Travis.
Correct.
You go to church with Carly.
Right.
How did
Aaron.
you find Karina?
Karina was one who actually auditioned through our audition process. So I guess she's the standard, and she sent a reel in an audition that was she sent a reel first, and the reel was fantastic. I was like, oh, I got to put her in there. Now the part she was auditioning for, someone else auditioned for, and they were just a tiny bit. Their audition was a tiny bit better for that role. I was like, I've got to find something for Karina. I don't want to let her get away because she's too good a part. So then I offered her one part, and then decided that wasn't good enough for her skills. So we switched over to give her the Dr. Shelby part, because I thought it would have a more dramatic import, and it definitely did in the role she was originally going to get. So, you'd have to ask Karina what made her apply for it, because she drove a long way. First thing I told her, that's a long way for a non-paying job.
Yeah.
You're muted, Karina. Oh, there you go.
Okay. I always wanted to do faith-based films, and to me, those are more important to me because we're obviously spreading a message. So I wanted to. When I heard about Jerry's film, he sent me the script and I read it. I honestly didn't think it was going to be good because most Christian films aren't that great, but I read the script and I was like, yeah, this is a good script. I like the story, and I liked the fact that it was like a tearjerker. And so when I auditioned originally for Marley, I already knew I'm tiny, I'm skinny, I'm a tiny little person. And when people meet me in person, they're like, "Girl, you're tiny." So I didn't know what kind of person they were gonna put me up against, and I was just thinking, I'm sure I'm gonna be on an apple box somewhere. So then Jerry was like, "Well, that didn't fall through," and then he said something about like being a cop, because I played a cop in another movie, and then he kind of showed me who was gonna play the other cop. I'm like, okay, that cop's way too big for me. Definitely another apple box situation. And then he was just like, well, how about the doctor? I played a doctor before, so I was like, yeah, I can pull off a doctor. Yeah, why not? But then I remembered that the doctor was the one that gave the bad news. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be that person. That's what I'm gonna be known for. Like, they're not gonna like me. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then I, because I'm a Latina, I figured, well, instead of me having my straight hair, I'll just curl my hair a little bit to kind of give it that Latina type of vibe to it. Because you don't see that, roles like that are never given to the minority, I guess you can say. So I just kind of played with the character a little bit. And I just went in there, did my thing, and then left. So,
she did a fantastic job. Chad, you were the one acting against her in that scene.
Yeah, there was a legit look of compassion that came across in your eyes that made it easier for me. I mean, that was like the second thing I'd ever done. The day before I did the thing with Jude. Won't go into spoilers or anything with that, but and then the next day I did that, and you definitely made it a lot easier for me.
I have to give credit to Chad though, because if it wasn't for Chad not looking at me while I was filming, I couldn't have pulled off those. He has like a goofy face, so like every time I would look at him, I would laugh, and then I would tell him, stop, and he's like, I'm not doing nothing, and I'm like, you're laughing, it's supposed to be serious. So he's like, okay, fine. So the next time he came in and he did the scene, he just was not looking at me. And then I was getting mad because I was like, why is he not looking at me? And then later I still did my thing. And then later I find out, he goes, I wasn't looking at you because I was trying to help you not laugh for the scene. And I was like,
welcome
oh,
to Joe's world.
He helped me a lot though.
So I did a show, The Foreigner, and there was a guy who played this. It's kind of like a slow kid, and he has a son who's autistic, and he kind of tried to play the character like his son, kind of like to pay homage to his son because he loves him to death. But he also, the character was like really country and like this and everything, and he was just this over the top guy. We had this scene where we had to mimic each other because he's supposed to be teaching me English, and so he was like teaching me how to eat, and I'm trying to win him over, so I'm giving him credit for like teaching me stuff. And every time we did that scene, I looked over that shoulder and he looked over this shoulder. We never actually looked at each other. And so that's and because that exact same reason, we never would have been able to get through it.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that you were like, why aren't you looking at me?
Well, it's because he has like a goofy like face to him. So, and he smiles so big. So I was just like, what the hell's going on? Why is he smiling at me? I'm trying to be serious here, you know? So I was just like, okay. Every time I would just look over at him, I was just laughing. But he made it easier for me later. He's just like, okay, Chad's just he has that vibe where he's just a goofball, you know? Like every time I looked over at him, he was gossiping with somebody and laughing with somebody, and I'm like, dude. Yeah, so when you're in a scene with him, it's hard to like, you know, be serious because he's such a goofball. And so I was just kind of like, okay, how am I going to get
love
through
him for it.
I think Joe and Anthony would disagree with you.
This is really interesting to hear because I don't feel like I got that at all.
No? Oh,
They're lying.
Well, see, Anthony got crazy, Chad. So,
Anthony did
that?
get a version. Yeah,
Can-
Anthony got a version of me.
There was a point to where I could look in his eyes and I was like, Chad has gone somewhere. Like the real Chad has gone somewhere. And I need to go there with him.
You did.
But it was because of his eyes. It was the look in his eyes. I was like, oh, he went. So like earlier on that day, we all caught the case of the giggles, and we couldn't make it through one scene for a bit, and then it was like some hours later after that scene, like we shot this next scene, and it's just like it was a total like he had like went somewhere, and I was like, oh shoot, this is and it was his eyes. It was like
I will tell you something that I noticed that I've talked with my wife Julie several times about. The reason the performances are so good in this film is that each of the actors, every single one of them, became their characters. I watched each one of you become your character. And you can, especially with Chad, you can not. Joe was the closest to her character. There's not a whole lot of difference between Joe and Allison. There is some, but everybody else is.
Allison is nicer than me.
Karina, this happened after we did stuff together, so I apologize.
But no, Karina became the. You know, I watched each of you become the character because I spent a year putting these characters together. They were alive in my head for a long time before I met any of you, but I got to watch as each of those characters came to life in front of me. There was a moment when Chad left and David was standing in his spot, and it was amazing to watch. And that's the difference. You know, Anthony became Kendall a little bit on his first night on set, but on that day, last weekend, we shot all day, and Anthony just became someone else entirely. So much so that after one take, Joe dropped to her knees and was screaming, "Who are you? Where'd you come from?" So absolutely.
Karina may not know, so this is like really was my first time doing a dramatic role. I'm usually cast as the more of a character.
The goofball.
Yeah, I mean, the most dramatic thing I probably ever did besides this was Scrooge, when I played Scrooge in Scrooge the Musical, and you know, he's still over the top. At the end of the thing, he obviously has the big dramatic change and rethinks all of his life's mistakes, different things, whatever. But otherwise, I mean, I played here locally. I'm more known for like physical comedy type stuff than I am for.
Yeah, I would definitely throw you in a comedy for sure, hands down. So
it was a fun challenge. But you did, you know, while you I didn't look at you to try to help you not make eye contact with me because I know I can do that. You still made that stuff easy for me. And Joe was just like, Joe was hard. It was hard to tell. Like, I will agree. Allison is a little nicer than Joe, but overall, she said it. She said it.
True. It's true.
Huh.
Yeah.
Allison doesn't have kids. She's not a mom. She doesn't have all these other responsibilities up on on her. And
I feel like
but-
Allison has a very very pure, demure, like humble, almost quiet kind of soul, and that's not mine. I'm a little more boisterous, but yeah. But I think just the love of the Lord is what was easy to emulate because I do love the Lord. So
I remember when Travis finally got into character.
Yeah.
Took a while.
I finally got there with all of your help, but you know,
I think it was
that's
fun
one
with
of
the
the things I was talking about. Miracles happen. That was one of those things when I finally got into the role of the director of photography, and I finally took it seriously. No, no, I still don't. That's the problem. I'll never take myself seriously.
Did any of you guys notice or pay attention to the differences between how Travis and Kenneth do things?
We are yin and yang. No, Kenneth, I will say, has saved my butt twice in this film. But Kenneth is somebody who filled in for me on the very first day of production, which is something you don't hardly ever do. It's like, hey, your director of photography is on this project. It's going to be an 8-day shoot. The first day, he's not going to be there, and he's going to pass over one of the most dramatic scenes of the movie to someone else. So I'm super grateful that he was able to do that. And then on this last weekend, I just felt like garbage. And then out of nowhere, Kenneth's like, hey, I've got nothing going on. Do you want help with that? In my deathbed. Yes, please. I would love that.
One of the things about Travis,
saved my bacon.
Travis is the guy who is like, okay, that needs to be moved. He just like goes and grabs it, moves it, just goes and does it. Oh, I'm going to put that over here. I'm going to put that over there. And I remember and Kenneth is the guy who's like, hey, Donovan, grab that. Mitchell, do this. And I remember one time Travis, Kenneth looked at Travis and was like, dude, you got guys here to do that?
I need to be told that sometimes.
Delegation, Travis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man. Well, before we wrap up, I know actually I have to head out, but anybody else got something they want to share or say before we kind of close in here? Final words?
Carly's been the most quiet down there.
Oh, I'm just listening.
That's what most quiet people say.
Yeah.
Have a lot more in common.
I want to thank everybody for being like I said, thank everyone for letting me see these characters, and living, breathing in front of me, because that is something that I will never forget. We'll go on to do other things down the road, but meeting the characters for the first time and seeing them come to life was a moment that I can't even begin to describe how amazing that was, and how grateful I am that all of you have given your time and your effort, because there's nothing more important than your time. That you've all given time to this project, because we believe this project is destined for really great things, in changing people's lives. It already has changing people's lives now, just for being people that are being part of it. So I want to thank every one of you guys for helping being a part of that, for listening to whatever call God put on your heart, for giving me a chance when I was learning everything on my, as we went along. I was learning each day, learning something new. So thank you all, just from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, you're welcome.
Pleasure. I want to real quick shout out Joey Garrity and my friend Ross Brand for popping in real quick. Ross is huge in the live streaming world. He actually has a book called 100 Live Stream Predictions, Digital Marketing Predictions he puts out every year. So thanks for popping in here, Ross.
Well, I would just like to
Joe?
say,
Now you go,
Joe.
Joe.
Super quick.
It's probably gonna be more profound.
I'm just going to say super quick that I know the mission of this film. There's a lot of missions with this film. I hope that people saw what we're doing now. I hope they saw what we're like all the posts of us making things happen in our area where maybe not a lot of creative artsy things happen all the time. I hope they saw that and say, I can do it too, because you can. We can do it here. And I think if nothing else, this project's proven we can make things happen that don't just look like your average local production. Like we can make quality stuff here.
Yeah.
And we've got the
If we
people
have
to
Travis.
do it for sure.
Shout out to
As long
Sony
as I'm
of the
there.
FX3.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is how people in like big films feel like, but I'm excited to see the film. Like I only know what I was in. So I wasn't like at different places when I was shooting other parts so I'm excited to see what it looks like all together. And I'm
Me
just
too.
like,
I hope it's good.
I think it's gonna be great, and I think that's why I'm so excited to see like the finished product. Like, and so like I think if a person that was in it is excited, like people viewing that hasn't seen any of it should be excited as well. Because I was there. I was in a couple of scenes, and so I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is what it's gonna look like. This is how it's gonna be. This is what I'm excited to see the full story play out on screen.
Yeah.
I'm just excited. I hate that.
Yeah, that's when you're going to see really what Travis's work really looks like. I mean, you guys maybe saw the monitor when he was filming and you thought it looked cool or whatever. But when you see this thing stitched together with a musical track overlay and stuff, then you're really going to know why we champion Travis so much.
Yeah.
I want to see if he's able to make my face not look as goofy as Karina says it is.
That's not possible.
And Joe's song, right?
I mean, this movie magic, Chad, but come on.
He just
I
has
just-
like
I
this
took
big
a couple
smile,
takes,
and it
I
just
was
makes you
in
laugh.
tears.
I think Chad, you should give each person a chance. Travis and I have already had our part, and Anthony, you should give each person a chance to say their parting thought. So you pick who's next.
Carly.
I want to start by saying, like, I had found out about the movie by the call for extra, so I actually signed up to be an extra first, and then there was another call for production assistance. So then I was like, I can do that. I've never done anything like this before, but I thought I could help.
You'd
out.
never done that before?
I've never done film or anything.
Oh,
So
she caught on quick.
I kind of, I
Wow.
just jumped in. I just tried to learn as much as I could and help Jerry out, and just jumped in. And I've grown so much over the last 8 days I think we had. I've grown so much as a person, and it was an awesome experience.
You rocked it.
Absolutely.
You say John?
Yep.
Okay, so for me, I first auditioned from the casting call for Pastor Brian, and subsequently got cast in the role, which I was very grateful for. It's my first time playing a pastor, so I was excited to, kind of add that to the list of characters. But then I got to talking to Jerry, and we were kind of sharing some ideas. He knew that I came from a big set and had some experience, so he brought me on board as a producer. And so I really got to help him a lot behind the scenes. So I'm very grateful that he allowed me the opportunity to help him out setting this whole project up. And I think he is a fabulous director. He's got some stuff in the pipeline that's just going to knock your socks off. I can't wait to see what he does with these other projects. And so far, Jerry, all these shoots have been amazing. You put them together perfectly. And bravo Zulu, man. Hats off to you.
Thank you.
Karina?
I just want to say thank you for letting me be a part of this production. I had lots of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared at first because I just knew I was just gonna be around. It's a Christian film, and I was gonna be around a bunch of Christians. So some weren't that nice. I've been on another set where I've done another biblical film, and they can be pretty mean. But in this time around, everyone was really nice and sweet and cool, and I had fun, and everyone was very professional. And I have nothing bad to say about nobody or nothing. I can't wait to see the film, and I hope you raise all whatever money left that you need to get this film up and going how you want it, Joey. So.
Thank you very much.
Joe, take us home.
I am
Theme
home,
song.
except that the background is the Jefferson, because we're also going to have a red carpet affair, and we'll get details for that posted at the Jefferson. So the way I found this film was I am a part of a Facebook group for local filmmakers, and I actually got off of social media. Like, it's been about a year now where I just stopped getting on it just for mental health and all the things. But I teach voice lessons, so I got back on it to market myself like, hey, I'm teaching again. If you want your kid to take voice lessons. And randomly, I was like, oh yeah, I used to be a part of that film group. I wonder what's going on these days. So I went on it, and one of the first posts I saw was Jerry saying, making a faith-based film, contact me if interested. And I was like, never seen one of those posts before, so immediately sent all my info. And I am so appreciative that this kind of thing exists. I appreciate that this was my first experience in a film, that it was with all of you guys, that there were no divas or devos. There was nobody that made me feel less than. There was nobody that from what I could tell, was making other people feel less than. Everybody from where they were and the levels that they're at, whether it's lots of experience, little experience, whatever, everybody was giving honor. And I think that's what made this film, the process of it, so beautiful, was because truly people were being appreciated because of who they are, not just what they could bring to the film. And I think Hollywood needs more of that, because people are people.
Amen.
They're not just commodity. And so I just love that this was my first experience, because for sure it makes me hungry to do more. And if life allows and God allows, like, let's go, because yeah, it's good.
Awesome.
So I can't wait to keep hanging out with you guys as I'm able.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is it me, or is Joe very articulate?
She's all right.
Oh, you're sweet.
all right.
Thank you.
She's all right.
Yeah.
To a point.
Yeah.
And then later we'll have a bilingual film, right? Right, Karina? Todo en español también.
Por supuesto que sí.
There you go.
The cast will
Karina,
be for two of you.
You're muted.
Oh.
Oh, Joe will be in the music. We'll do a musical just for Joe and for Chad.
That'll be fun.
So
Poor Karina's just
no
muted.
worries.
You're muted.
All right, guys. Well, I have to be the party pooper because I actually have to jump off and be somewhere. But
Bye,
thanks
Pooh
for
Bear.
joining us. Thanks for hanging out. All right, Piglet and everybody else. Love you all, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Bye.